back, my friends. If you're new here, I am Lance, aka Mr. Meta. Welcome back to the channel. Nice. So recently, something came across my desk, and I guess I've been living on a rock. This is not really new news. This is actually probably a couple months old, and I just found out about this. Magic Johnson's son, EJ Johnson, if you're not familiar with EJ Johnson. I know you're familiar with Magic Johnson. Apparently, EJ just showed his ass on a podcast of some no-name podcast. I never heard of this, Mo before in my entire life. Reality King, I never heard of this podcast ever.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I don't know. EJ found some podcast that would listen to his ass for some reason for being a Nepo baby. Ooh. And I guess because EJ lost like 600 pounds.
Especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all.
Think he's, the God's gift to, straight men.
Wait a minute.
Oh, EJ is one of the, they dems. You know what I'm saying? Auntie is new to this, but I'm gonna try to keep up. Okay, come on, girl. God.
Even when I first came out in the 90s, there was boys like you. They're just as delusional as this boy. The only difference between them and EJ Johnson is because EJ Johnson has more money than God compared to these other Mo's. That's the only thing. He has the capability to be delusional because he has all that money. His daddy's money.
Motherfucker, we don't want you. We don't want anything to do with you. On air, on commentary, or anything about you on television. We don't want it. I'm tired of the jelly rolls and the fat fucking Pat McAfees and the little yachties and the little fucking dicks and all these other fucking D-list celebrities, Netflix and Hulu and NASCAR and NBA. Bro, I'm done. Sexy Red.
So let's get right into it because I know Rivera is going to read the shit out of him. And I'm looking forward to it. And if you'd like to support the channel, like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. If you want to support this channel a little bit more personally, become a channel member, Lance's Bestie, or hop on my Patreon and support me through there.
I'm out all the time, and like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So
they're not dressed to any nines. And this is the problem that a lot of women have with trans women or feminine presenting males, is that a lot of feminine presenting males think that they can buy their way into womanhood, or if they just spend enough money, that not only will they be competing with women, but that they'll be better than actual women.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
This is Magic Johnson's son, EJ, and I truly do believe that if anybody had told Magic Johnson back in the 90s that this is what his son was going to turn out like, he just would have surrendered to the AIDS and let it all be over back then.
I'm so excited, actually, to welcome you into my closet.
Well, I'm excited that you invited us into your closet. I'd imagine you have us here to introduce us to the men you date.
At the Toothless and Homeless Foundation?
Not toothless and homeless.
You're already watching On Patrol live every Friday and Saturday night on Reels.
I don't attract.
Hold on. This is just the intro. I'm already living for this. This is the best video already I've already seen. Oh my God, this is the best video.
Gay men.
Correction, you don't attract openly gay men.
Yes.
Because I hate to break it to you, EJ, but you are a man. So anybody that's attracted to you is on some level attracted to men. And don't think I haven't met girls like you before that think they're the most feminine thing this side of the Mississippi. But unfortunately for all of us, including you, you are still a man. So anybody that's attracted to you is at the very least bisexual. We can do this, EJ, but we're not going to lie to ourselves or each other.
You think you're the most feminine thing this side of the Mississippi. If you think I'm going to let that pass and not write that down for future, that you're absolutely crazy. That is living. I'm living for that. The Mississippi.
And I'm not attracted to gay men.
Okay, can I inject just some brutal honesty right here? Because
Please
I've
do.
met a lot of guys like EJ Johnson in my time.
Me
And
too.
while he's trying to act like he has his pick of the litter, I'm not attracted to gay men. Gay men aren't attracted to me. You're right. Gay men aren't attracted to you. Nobody's attracted to you. What people are attracted to with a person like you is your money. And I know that the real you is the fat you, and that's why you're so insecure and you're trying to come after women and make it seem like I'm the hottest girl in town. You're not a girl. That's the problem with being the hottest girl in town when you're not the hottest and you're also not a girl. Is eventually a like me is going to come along and be like, girl, I don't know what we're talking about right now, because not only are you not that girl, you are not a girl.
You could never have a sugar daddy because you are not that kind of girl. Baby, everything I've had, I've worked for, and I've gotten myself. I built myself from the ground up. Bitch!
And I'm so sick of these people pretending that something's going on that's really not going on. You know why guys date you, EJ? Because you let them drive your car. You know why else they date you? Because after they come back from a long day of driving in your car, you'll take them out to a place like the Red Lobster or Ruth Chris Steakhouse, which isn't a place that you would ever eat because you've been spending daddy's money your whole life. But because that's the level that you date at, and 100%, I guarantee you that that's the level of DL men that EJ Johnson is dating. They're dazzled by the fact that you can take them to Red Lobster or Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Pretzels and a large popcorn.
A large? You got money. He got money. Get it all for him.
You're basically a piggy bank that doesn't look like a piggy anymore.
Like, it's just not a thing.
Tell me more about that.
Tell me more about that. The interviewer is pretending to be super interested and like he's actually buying into this act because he wants to go viral. And his interview did go viral, but it was because they offended women. That's eventually what happened, and that's what we're really going to get into in this video. I'm just setting it up so you guys get a baseline, and also because, like I said, I'm tired of seeing these people all the way around play this role and act like we can't see the chicanery that's being encouraged when a 6'2" man that's built like a football player and doesn't even identify as a woman is sitting here telling us that only straight men are attracted to him. What level of delusion am I in right now? And why aren't these walls padded?
Honestly, it's like that's why I don't really go to gay clubs. I don't go to, gay things, because it's like the men that I attract are not there.
I don't know how else to say this, but you do not attract any men at all, EJ. We all can see you.
Just know you are seen, F-word. Stay blessed.
Burgerlicious definition make them boys go loco. They want my treasure so they get.
But let me let you guys in on another little secret really quick. More and more gay men are starting to be attracted to what they call femboys, which is the category that EJ Johnson would technically fall into. EJ would technically be a femboy, even though I'm sure he considers himself to be something closer to a woman. But the closest he'll ever be to a woman is standing next to one. That's as close as you're ever going to get, EJ. But to get back to my point, when it comes to guys like EJ, there are more and more gay men that are realizing or maybe accepting that they are attracted to something that's a little bit more on the feminine side. But if you just look at EJ Johnson, even with all that money, he's still just not an attractive person.
Double-jointed porn queens, flesh-peddling slime balls, demented peeping Tom.
What does that have to do with any bitch?
So this is a very insecure person playing a role right now, but EJ's whole life is playing a role. EJ is actually sitting there pretending that he's a celebrity in his own right, when really the only thing EJ Johnson is famous for is having a legendary basketball player for a father.
It's like, these are not my men in terms of attraction. Now, if I'm just going to have a kiki, sure.
Girl.
I hate to break it to you, EJ, but you are the kiki at the gay club, because everybody listens to your stories, and then when you leave, they say things exactly like what I've been saying in this video so far. They're like, this bitch really thinks straight men are attracted to him.
That's for sure.
When we all know that they're attracted to his daddy's money and possibly getting closer to his father and getting to actually meet the legendary Magic Johnson. So let's get into it. What's up?
Bitch, you and I were in the same, because I was like, you are the kiki. He said it right before. I was going to pause it, but he already said it. You already said it. Jai. I'm I'm thinking Jai Courtney. Sorry, that one actor.
Real hot girl shit.
He's just reading EJ the filth that I'm living. There's not much I can commentate on because he
Came in like a wrecking ball.
Everybody, so like I'm saying,
Ty.
this is EJ Johnson, and to tell you the truth, I didn't really realize I was going to go nuclear like that. A lot of what I just said literally just came to me as I was recording this because I have seen so many of this type at the clubs. Like when I was living in Vegas, there was this one particular guy that his parents owned a few smaller casinos, and he was always at the bar trying to buy guys, and it was successful in certain cases. He drove a Hummer, probably gave a few Hummers too, if we're being honest about it. Never mind that though, but he drove a Hummer. And then as far as EJ, I kept wondering why the name EJ was bothering me so much. And then I remembered that when we were hanging out in Vegas, me and my trans friends, back in the days when trans people used to actually correct other people that were saying that they were trans, there was this particular person that they used to refer to as the librarian drag queen. And the librarian drag queen went by the name EJ. And eventually the librarian drag queen, which we now know to be an AGP, autogynephile, a person that's doing it for fetish only. But this person, EJ, was saying that they were trans for a while. And so my trans friends were like, girl, if you're actually trans, you've got a long way to go. So my friends started trying to coach EJ. And keep in mind, for anybody that's picturing like they're coaching this young person into being trans, wasn't that type of situation. EJ had to be in his mid to late 30s. Looked terrible either way. And one of the first things they addressed was the fact that EJ went by the name EJ. And so they were like, EJ is not a feminine name. But EJ insisted on staying EJ. So eventually they just decided to call EJ Esther James. And that's what we all started calling EJ, was Esther James, until Esther James one day disappeared and we never heard from or saw Esther James again. But to get back to this video about Magic Johnson's son, there is another part of the video or the interview where he is talking about living in the shadow of Magic Johnson. And that's something that EJ is just going to have to accept, is that that's really his only claim to fame. There's no talent that he's put forth that he personally possesses. There's nothing particularly exciting about him. And so instead, he just is trying to rage bait so that possibly he can make a name for himself. But this time, he's upset women. So we're going to get into that. And I'm going to continue, apparently, just reading the hell out of EJ Johnson.
Please do.
Because I am tired of people like this making the entire community look bad and at the same time insulting women, which if you haven't realized, insulting women has not been an effective strategy for ingratiating ourselves to society at large. So I don't really know why more people aren't just outright reading EJ Johnson, and I am seeing people being like, this is part of a larger conversation. No, the big and the small of this conversation, when it really comes down to it, is EJ Johnson is 100% delusional, and you need to call these shenanigans out, because you know what they say. If they shenan once, they will shenan again.
But like, these are not the men that are
hold on. There's so many things I have to clip in this goddamn
out, because you know what they say. If they shenan once, they will shenan again.
If you shenan once, you'll shenan again. There's two things I'm keeping, Ty. There's two sayings I never heard before and I'm living for. The first one I already forgot. I gotta clip it again after this.
The men that are interested in me in that capacity.
Okay, maybe I was being a little bit harsh. I'm sure there are some men that are genuinely attracted to EJ Johnson.
I'm sure.
But I guarantee
Everyone
you,
has somebody.
they're not the men that he's paying for.
No.
I do that when I go to the...
Why does he look like Tasha K? He looks like Tasha K. If you're not familiar with Tasha K is a gossip columnist. Tasha K. Tasha K. Images. This bitch looks like trying to be Tasha K. Kinda. It's just around the face. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the hair too, but a little bit of the face gives me Tasha K. Girl, you're a hot mess, girl. Delusional hot mess.
Straight rooms.
I just hate that shit-eating grin he's
Thank
giving.
you.
Because it's like, no, you don't. What level of delusional are you? What pills are you taking, or what is giving you this confidence? Because I think we all need some of it. Because if you really look like EJ Johnson, and you really have bought into this, which I don't believe he has, to tell you the truth. I honestly do not believe that EJ Johnson thinks he's all that.
He's trying to portray
It's truly laughable to me because it's so ridiculous. It's like the entire premise is flawed. Like, we're all supposed to pretend like we're seeing this beautiful feminine being before us that straight men just can't resist. But let's go on.
Look at that super grit.
I truly think that was the interviewer breaking, even though he's trying to make it seem like he's really engaged in the conversation. I think that's
really
him also being at that same realization of just being like, okay, this is ridiculous. But as a podcast host, it's not your job to fight with the guest. You are there to let them express themselves and say what it is they want to say. And this interviewer knows that that's what he signed up for, and that's what he's gonna do.
Comes to men, has always been what some people consider the straight guy, always being the one that would approach you.
Like I said, the interviewer is trying to stay somewhat in reality, and you can tell when he said, has it always been what some would consider the straight guy that would approach you? So, in my opinion, he's trying to stay somewhat based in reality, but at the same time, he's still feeding into the lie by pretending that anybody's actually approaching EJ Johnson. Like I said, I know this type. I used to deal with this type in the clubs on a regular basis. And EJ Johnson is the type that'll be overly grabby and trying to give like come hither looks, and then eventually will approach a guy and just be really forward in their approach. And that's what ends up happening with the EJ Johnson type.
No. Just turned around.
That's how contact is made with the EJ Johnson type. EJ Johnson is definitely the aggressor in these situations and not the one that gets approached. It's not like some demure flower that these straight men finally make their way over because they're dazzled by his beauty.
Or somebody who, has been intimate and dating, women for most of their life, or like up until then.
Oh, yes, EJ, you are so beautiful that you're the gateway to homosexuality.
For sure. Now,
look at this stupid looking face. Look at this stupid looking face. Hold on.
Way to homosexuality.
For sure.
Girl, please. You and your little bus driver Tasha K looking self needs to go somewhere. I swear to God.
Now it's like even more so. Now that I definitely present in more of a feminine way.
I guess
600 pounds.
You do present in a more feminine way than you used to previously, but you're still just a boy in a dress. And there's no denying that. So I don't really know why anybody is willing to humor this on any level and pretend, which you're going to hear coming up, that not only is he like a woman, but that he competes with women, and not only competes with women, he is winning the competition.
Oh, jeez.
It's all just so ridiculous. A friend of mine brought this to my attention, and when I was watching it, I was just like, are we all pretending to live in this imaginary world where EJ Johnson is actually attractive? I've seen people compare him to Tasha K, which has led to me referring to him as Tasha Gay on certain occasions. But even Tasha K doesn't really look like a woman. I know people are going to get mad at me because I'm not supposed to say that some women don't look like women. Hate to break it to you, some of them don't. Leslie Jones neither. Some of these people... Okay. Sound off in the comments. That's all I can say.
because
did I just say Tasha K? I'm not the only one who thought that.
Bitch, you're my soulmate.
also like it's like my energy is that.
Your energy is still that of a gay boy.
Thank you.
I'm picking it up through the computer screen. I am not at all feeling like this is the energy of a woman. Have I actually met trans women that do have very much feminine energy? Yeah, but that's a conversation for a different day, because sometimes people will ask me, how can you tell the difference between what you call an actual trans person and a person that just says they're trans, or a person that's just cross-dressing?
Like Blair White gives me feminine energy. Dylan Mulvaney gives me gay boy energy. Here's the two examples for you. Blair White gives me feminine energy. Like she walked into it, I would think she's a female. She gives off not gay boy energy, gives off feminine energy. Now if Dylan Mulvaney walks in, gay boy energy. I'm like, oh, that's
simply a boy in a dress.
And really, it is in the energy in a lot of cases. Blair White would be a good example of that. But like I said, we're not going to get too much into that in this particular video because I don't want to get sidetracked. But what I'm saying is EJ Johnson does not have feminine energy at all. And this, again, is a part of the work.
Even when I was a kid and like they were like, well, you can't wear skirts. And I was like, well, why not? You know, it's like my inner being was like, there's nothing wrong with this, especially if I look cuter than any girl does. Like, what's the problem?
Well, that is the problem, is you do not look cuter than any girl does. You look like a man wearing dresses.
I'm out all the time.
And you know what? This interview ain't shit. This interview needs to have a backhand to the fucking face. This interviewer. What? Yeah, you did that, EJ, you did that. Fucking homos. I swear to God, this is the reason why. It's like every time I wake up, I feel like I'm embarrassed for being gay. It's like a humiliation ritual. Every time I wake up, I swear to God, every time I go online.
Like, say what people want me to say. Like, people are like, oh, say gay rights, say gay rights. No, I will never do anything like that, okay? It's not about that. It's about if I like you as an individual. And no, if you're a little shit, I don't want you to have any fucking rights because I hate you. Okay.
You know, like I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like the girls in the room are not doing it. Like they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So
they're not dressed to any nines. And this is the problem that a lot of women have with trans women or feminine presenting males on any level, is that a lot of feminine presenting males think that they can buy their way into womanhood, or if they just spend enough money, that not only will they be competing with women, but that they'll be better than actual women. And let me tell you something, EJ. There are so many little cheap stores for women that sell super inexpensive clothing, because no matter what, a woman is going to be a woman, and you can put a woman in a $15 or a $20 dress and she will absolutely rock that dress. You will be like, look at those curves, look at that body. Where if you put a man in that same dress, you'll be like, why is that dude wearing that cheap dress? It's the same with makeup. I've told you guys before, on occasions, I do wear makeup for tapings or for certain nights out. I always wear expensive makeup because there's an old saying in the gay community, and that's cover girl doesn't cover boy. Maybe it's Maybelline on a woman, but on a man, it is definitely Maybelline, girl. Stop playing in mom's Maybelline. But my point is, because when...
Did I have as many good little sayings? Like, I remember the cover girl, but the Maybelline one, I never heard one before. He's just coming up with all these little gems, these little nuggets of sayings. I'm living for this video right here.
Are naturally women and naturally feminine, there are a lot of things that they can get away with as women that men cannot pull off.
That is true.
And that's something a person like EJ needs to accept. And the only reason that EJ has any level of attractiveness at all, which I personally think he has none, but the only reason that EJ has any level of attractiveness at all is because EJ is decked out in the most expensive of everything. The hair, the makeup, the clothing, everything about EJ's presentation as far as what he spent is 100% top tier. And just like I'm being honest about everything else, I'll be honest about that too. And there is something that is, on some level, impressive about that. Expensive things do make people look better than they naturally look in some cases. But that's all you've got going for you, EJ, is everybody can tell that you are 100% money. And that's what, like I said, even though it may not sound like the nicest thing in the world to say, it's true, the men are attracted to about you, EJ, is they know that if they're with you, they're not going to have to want anything. If they say they want to go see a movie, well, his father owns movie theaters. And he's a legend in the Lakers. So they can go to any sporting event. I'm sure VIP. And movies obviously aren't an issue. They can go out to dinner anywhere they want to go out to dinner. I'm sure they do drive EJ's cars. EJ is getting used. Let's be honest about it. EJ is getting used and probably realizes it, but doesn't want to accept it, and instead wants to push to us like EJ is really doing the most. When it's like, girl, we're looking at you. And there are several women that have called out, he is not looking better in a dress or a skirt than any woman. That is 100% man in a dress.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that I love it is the sound of a man hearing his cash register ring, because that's what this is about for him. I'm sure he got a ton of views off of this particular interview, and I'm sure that was the entire goal in having EJ on, and that's the reason he gave absolutely no pushback, because he knew EJ was going to say enough to piss enough people off that it would cause some people to flock over and check out what he was doing on his podcast. But outside of that, I've never heard of this guy. And EJ Johnson, as I've already said, isn't really a celebrity in his own right.
No.
And I just refuse to play into this. These people are more attractive, or these people are more noteworthy than they actually are. When it comes down to it, you're the son of a very rich man that was a very successful and popular athlete. And really, that's all there is to EJ Johnson. Do I think women have anything to worry about as far as EJ Johnson and his messaging goes? Not at all. At the end of the day, women will always be women, men will always be men, and people of the opposite sex pretending to be or cosplaying these particular things will always just be that, pretenders and cosplayers. And that's really where I'm at on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, hype if it's an option. If you want to see a video of me talking about why Latinos might have the black fatigue, click the link on your screen.
Oh shit, look at you. You talk about heavy subjects over here. Hold on, I won't break my headphones. These are getting old. I love it. I love it. The way he mocked him. I mean, EJ Johnson coming up when I did, it's a dime a dozen. These guys are a dime a dozen throughout the, like every city has an EJ Johnson. You know, it's just, they just might be a bunch of poor schlubs compared to EJ Johnson. And EJ Johnson's just like, it's a Nepo baby. Just like, he's right. That's, what's your claim to fame, EJ? You were what, a water buffalo at one point? Now you think you're like Naomi Campbell, right? That's what he thinks. I guarantee you that's what he thinks. He looks in the mirror, he's like, I'm Naomi Campbell. You can't tell me nothing. Looking like Tasha K. He even said, look, in a million years. At least I'm not the only one who thought that. I was like, Tasha K, god damn, yeah. Hello. I'm killing the dress. They're not dressed in any kind of nines. But like I said, Ty came out with some little one-liners that I gotta remember. The shenanigans one, the first one, I really live for too. And I never heard the Maybelline line. I've heard about the cover girl. Cover girl doesn't cover boy. I remember hearing that one coming up. That's the reason why when I started doing drag, I got hard candy makeup. because Walmart started carrying hard candy makeup. But I always used, what did I use this for as concealer? L'Oreal. It was L'Oreal something. L'Oreal. Is it L'Oreal? I can't remember. Maybe Maybelline. I don't know. I can't remember. What is it? I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. I use pressed powder now. And now I'm wrecking my pressed powder because he made me laugh so hard my eyes start watering. Let me know what you guys thought about this. I like, you could probably heard about it. I just recently heard about this whole nonsense when I saw Ty Rivera's thumbnail for it. I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I wanted to check it. I'm so glad I did. Ty never disappoints. He's so funny. And he's the definitely kind of guy I like to have a beer with. And definitely love to hear his stories because I know I would be probably pissing myself from laughing so much. He's naturally funny. So show some love to not EJ Johnson, obviously, but Ty Rivera. Sounds so mean. But anyway, please like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. And take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Love, peace, and grease. And bye.